Someone asked you a question recently, and something about it felt off. You couldn't explain it, but your gut knew. What if I told you that question wasn't innocent? It was a trap. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot it. Most people think liars get caught because of what they say. Wrong. The most dangerous liars get caught because of what they ask. There are 7 specific questions deceptive people use almost universally to control, deflect, and manipulate. And the scariest part, they sound completely normal. We'll get to all 7, but first the one that shows up in almost every toxic relationship, and almost nobody recognizes it until it's too late. Do you trust me? Sounds intimate, right? Maybe even vulnerable. But here's what's really happening. The moment someone drops this question mid-confrontation, right when you're asking something hard, the entire conversation shifts. You're no longer talking about what happened. Now you're talking about the relationship. And most people, not wanting to seem accusatory, back down. That's not an accident. That's the point. They didn't answer your question. They replaced it with a loyalty test. Psychologists call this emotional redirection, pulling someone out of their logical mind and into their emotional attachment. Once you're there, critical thinking shuts off. So next time someone answers your question with that question pause, notice the pivot, because the truth never needs to hide behind your feelings for someone. That's one. But the next question? It's even more calculated, and it often shows up seconds after you've confronted someone. How did you find out about that? No denial, no explanation. Just how did you know? Here's what that tells you immediately. They're not shocked by the accusation. They're shocked by the breach. They already know what they did. What they don't know is who told you, and that's the problem they're solving right now, in real time, while you're watching. This is damage control disguised as surprise. They're identifying the leak so they can seal it. They're mapping the threat before deciding how to respond. Honest people say, "That's not true," or "Let me explain." Liars ask, "Who told you that?" Watch for it. 2 down. Now let's talk about the question that sounds the most reasonable, but is actually one of the most sophisticated manipulation tactics in existence. What would it take for you to believe me? Read that again slowly. This sounds cooperative, mature even. Like they're trying. But here's the trap they're not asking, because they plan to meet your conditions. They're asking because once you name them, they can either fake fulfilling them or convince you the conditions themselves are unreasonable. It's a move that bypasses accountability entirely. Instead of proving themselves through consistent behavior over time, the only real way trust is rebuilt, they're trying to manufacture it in a single exchange. Think of it like this. If someone robbed your house and said, "Just tell me what I need to do to prove I didn't do it," you'd see right through it. But in a relationship, with history and emotion clouding things, it feels different. That's why it works. Here's something to keep in mind as we go deeper. Every question on this list has one thing in common. We'll come back to it at the end. But first, number 4. And this one is designed to make you feel crazy. Why are you being so paranoid? This is gaslighting wrapped in a question mark. In 4 words, they've done something dangerous. They've taken your reasonable concern and turned it into a personal defect. Now, the conversation isn't about what they did. It's about what's wrong with you. You stop investigating. You start defending yourself. And over time, if this happens repeatedly, you stop trusting your own instincts entirely. You start checking with them before trusting your own perception. That is the long game. And it starts with a single question. The antidote? Name the pivot out loud. I'm not asking about my paranoia. I'm asking about what happened. Stay on topic. Don't let them move the target. Next one is short. Simple. And people fall for it constantly, especially in relationships where they want peace more than they want truth. Can we just move past this? No denial, no accountability, just forward motion. This question is a window slam. They're trying to close the conversation before it's fully had. before you've gotten a real answer, before anything has actually been resolved. And it's effective because it exploits something good in you, your desire for harmony, your discomfort with prolonged conflict. Healthy relationships do move past things, but only after they've been addressed, not instead of it. If someone is pushing you to skip the hard part, ask yourself, what is the hard part they're trying to skip? Who else have you talked to about this? Similar to question 2, but wider. They're not just finding the source, they're mapping the territory. How many people know? How far has this spread? Who needs to be managed next? This is especially common in workplace conflicts and group dynamics. The person asking isn't concerned about your feelings. They're doing threat assessment. A simple gut check. Does this question help resolve the situation, or just help them survive it? If it's the latter, you have your answer about who you're dealing with. Why would I lie about that? The classic. And it works because it sounds like logic. But notice what it isn't. It isn't proof. It isn't a counter-argument. It's a question that puts the burden of proof on you. Now, you have to justify your doubt. You have to explain why you're suspicious. They didn't defend themselves. They made you defend your instincts. Honest people offer evidence. Liars offer indignation. And indignation, that hot, offended energy, is specifically designed to make you feel guilty for asking in the first place. Remember I said every question on this list had one thing in common? Here it is. None of them answer your question. Every single one redirects to your emotions, to your loyalty, to your doubt, to other people, to the future, away from the one place they can't afford you to look the truth. So here's your tool. When someone responds to a direct question with another question or with emotion, instead of information, don't get pulled in. Just say, "That's interesting, but you didn't answer what I asked." And watch what happens next. If this gave you a new way to see something, a conversation, a relationship, a moment that finally makes sense, drop it in the comments. I read them. And if you want to go deeper on how manipulation actually works at the psychological level, the next video breaks down something most people never see coming. It's right there. Watch it.